Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of my gardens to show you the changes which I've made to get it to a perfect state. Some of the trees that's non-productive, I've actually pulled it out, and I've also added some more new rare and exotic trees to my collections. And so if you have any questions, just add it into the comment section, and if I have time I will endeavor to answer your query. This is a lychee tree. It's originated in China, called the Fei Si Su, if I pronounce it correctly. It did put out flower this season in spring, set fruitlets, but that they all fell off, and so fingers crossed next season, see what happens. This is a spare seedling achacha tree in a grow bag. Two of my expensive Grimmel Jaboticaba trees which I've invested, and it's been transplanted into the ground. It did put out many fruits throughout at the beginning of this season, and now occasionally it fruits every bit here and there. That's a star fruit. I'm actually experimenting. This variety originated in Malaysia. It's called the Honey Sweet, aka B17. It did flower in spring, but none of the fruit set. I'm beginning to be concerned that this one needs cross pollinations, so we'll see what happens. This is a mature jackfruit tree. It's a Galaxy seedling which I've got from a grower which lives about a suburb away from me. So Big Brother Quan, if you're watching this, I'd like to thank you last year for helping me to dig out this tree and move it to my house. The tree has survived. As you can see, it's putting out new growth. The other extra feature is I got this from Ross Creek Tropical. The variety is called a berry. I've actually approach grafted to one of the branch here, and so it's about 1.5 months, and so I'm going to wait till when it's exactly 2 months. I'm going to take off the grafting tape. Won't waste time with this. This is an avocado tree, Pinkerton. I'm going to dispose it when I get a chance. KP, Kensington Parade mango tree. About a few weeks ago, we did have a severe heat wave, like the weather reaches over 40 degrees Celsius for 3 consecutive days. You can see here it's caused sunburnt damage to the fruits. But there's more fruits inside the canopy. Back up achacha, Jaboticaba tree. That's a lychee, Guaimai pink. The fruit is changes really deep red, so I think after this I'm going to have to start harvesting the fruit. As I mentioned, this is the other large Grimmel Jaboticaba tree which I've purchased and transplanted it into the ground. It's put out this is the 3rd flush of fruit it's producing. The fruits are quite large. And so, look, if I can get to say, I'm just going to focus on the Grimmel because the fruits are large. These other ones, like the Costada, Scarlet, I'm not going to waste any more time because the fruits are small. And if you exclude the big seeds and the skin, virtually there's no flesh left to consume. And so yeah, I won't bother with the smaller fruits. And so just to give you an example, this one's not fully ripe yet because the color's still burgundy, but when it's fully ripe it's very dark rich purple. So if I just pick this to show you the size of the fruit. Oh, cable's a bit stuck here. Sorry, damn you. Right, so here's the Australian 50-cent coin. You can see it's almost as well. It's as large as the Australian 50-cent coin to show you how big the fruit is. And no, it's not fully ripe yet. It's going to grow further to reach that ripe stage, which is purplish, dark purple color. Okay, let's move on. Before I move on to the jackfruit, just going to show you the lychee tree here. Yeah, the colour's pretty red now, very deep red, so I'll need to harvest it before it overripes. And while I'm here, this is my neighbour's lychee tree, which I've given him. His one is loaded this year. So the thing is, guys, if you have a space, just let it bush out. If it bush out, it branch out more, there's more chances of you getting fruit. In my case, I've got limited space. I've got to train my tree to grow tall upright. So most of the tree is above, on top of the canopy. What's this? A nectarine tree. This is a jackfruit tree, which I got the chance to have ripe jackfruit last season. This season, it's put out something like 3 or 4 female flowers. I've picked them all off, and I've only let one to concentrate on growth because we've got a challenging temperate climate here. Same thing with that jackfruit tree. I have never had a chance to try the ripe jackfruit because for a start, it fruited early. In the past, I tend to get female flowers around January, but that one in particular, I've actually received female flowers the first week of December. Now, this particular tree here, this season has put out something like 10 female flowers. I had to pick them all off and just let all the growth concentrate on this fruit here. This is the cherry tree, the low chew one. It's going to be the last time I'm going to try this, and if it's non-productive, I'm going to forget the idea of growing cherry trees because the weather here is just too warm. Just show you this particular variety. It's the miniature Royal Crimson. Juby, Lamb-Hass avocado tree. I just recently bought a reed avocado tree because I'm kind of like determined just to establish one tree, and if it's going to be that one tree, I'd rather it to be the reed variety because I'm not sure if you guys know, the reed, the fruit size is way larger than the Hass. The fruit is round like a cannonball. The flavour of the texture, the flesh, it's very nice. It's creamy and nutty avocado texture. In the past, I've tried two of the reed avocado tree. Both of them died. This is my third one, and so if it died, that's it. No more. I'm not going to waste any more time. That's the other mature Kensington Pride mango tree. That's a longan tree. I've decided when I get a chance, I'm going to rip this tree out and grow something that's more productive. This tree is great. It is productive. The only thing I don't like about it is the fruit is small. I get to harvest them around winter, and so that's during the cold period. It wouldn't develop anymore. The better one, which I've grown in the side yard, it's the Kohala. We get to harvest them around April, which is mid-autumn. And it's the fruits are weighed twice in size, and so this is my backup area where I put backup trees in large size pots. I've decided to free up space. I'm going to get rid of this jujube tree. It's the Lang. So many problems. I don't think it's worth the time. Now this is the Custata Jaboticaba. It's putting out its second flush of fruits. As I said, I'm not going to waste more time with the smaller fruit size because by the time you discard the seeds, some of them, like big one, might have something like up to 2 or 3 seeds, and you're left with nothing to consume. I've got 2 of the mature Grimmel Djibouti Kappa tree. I'm happy with them. So I might keep 2 or 3 as a backup in the pot. So I might keep this Castella and maybe 1 Scarlet. What's this? The Kumquat Nagami. I'm going to give this to my family member. The Dragon Fruit. I've actually ripped out the yellow Methylanthus. It's a pain in the backside because the fruit has spikes, thorns. And can you imagine every time you pick them, you have to get the brush and brush off all the spikes there. It's just a pain in the backside. I mean, the flavour, it's very sweet, but the fruit size is small, and of course the thorn itself. I'll give you more details. Like I've got something like 3 or 4 varieties here, but when we come around to that section there, I'll give you more details. Here we go. These Scarlet, they continuously fruit throughout the season. You can see some of the fruits here that they're tiny weeny. I just won't even bother. It's anyway, that's a lychee tree which I've marcotted, and I'm gonna give it to a grower in Melbourne. It's putting out its first flush of leaves, and so we're in mid-summer here, so hopefully as we approach autumn, we've got 3 more months in autumn, early, mid, late. Hopefully it's going to put out a second or third flush. Longing tree, this is the BQ. I've actually pulled this one out from the ground and transplanted the mature Grimmel Djibouti Kappa tree and pot this one up. So this is more like a backup. You can see here during the 40 days heat wave we have, kind of like scorched the fruits, sunburnt. Okay, I'm just going to show you my neighbour's premises. This is his Maha Chinook or King Thai mangoes. Check out his Kwai Pink lychee tree. It's loaded this season. He just let the tree bush out. And as I mentioned, because I've got limited space, I have to train my tree to grow tall upright. And so letting it bush out, he has more branches. More branches mean, there's more flowering panicles, and as a result, more fruit sets. If you look at this, it's just fruits everywhere. Anyway, good for him. He's happy. Right, we'll go back to my area. That's a spare jackfruit seedling tree I have. I've actually approach graphed 2 of the Durumbar Gold. I've purchased 2 of the jackfruit Durumbar Gold from Daly's, and I've already got stuff from scratch. It's going to take too long to get them to fruit, so I thought, bugger it, I've got a spare seedling tree here, so I'm just going to approach graft it onto 2 of these branches. That's one there, and that's another one over there, and it took successfully. And because I've got some more spare trees I got from Ross Creek Tropical, this is the J33 jackfruit, which originated in Malaysia. They reckon it's one of the best tasting tropical jackfruit trees in the world. So I've actually approach grafted this one to the seedling tree as well. It's almost been 2 months, so I mean maybe today I can start removing the grafting tape. Right, peach. I've simply abused this tree this season. The grass grew everywhere. I've only recently pulled out the grass and weeds and all that, and so all the fruits are chopped off. Same with that peach tree there. What else? Oh yeah, the dragon fruit. I've decided because the yellow Megalanthus, they're too much of a pain. Like it's got thorns and all that, so I've pulled them all out. And so I'm just going to focus on the trees, on the ones I like. I've got a commercial red here, there, so there's two. That one there I got from Ross Creek Tropical. It's the Polora. It's similar to the yellow Megalanthus. It's just that the yellow Megalanthus, the size of the fruit are normally between small to medium. These ones are supposed to be much more bigger fruit size. That they're medium to large, and the fruit is round. And the other extra one feature I've got here was I purchased this one here. Not sure if you can see. It's called the Hollywood White King. I've got this from the Rare Dragon Fruit website in Queensland. Apparently I wanted to add a white commercial or Vietnamese white to my collections, and so when I came across this one, I thought, wow, like the review, like the owner of the business there said in the second season they're getting fruit sizes of up to 1.2 kilogram, and the bricks is something like 22. So wow, I thought I'll give that a try. Extra lychee tree, which is the Guai Pink. The fruit is turning red, so it's almost ready to be harvested. I'm still experimenting with this one here. It's the Kaimana, originated in Hawaii, a lychee tree. It did put up many flowers this season and set fruitlets, but all the fruits dropped off. My only concern is because I've did some research that they classify as an early variety. Now I've noticed the flowers start setting around mid or late winter, and during that period it's still cold here in Sydney. So maybe it might not be a good tree to try out in Sydney unless you're in the subtropics or tropics like Queensland. That's the Paxton Prolific. The only difference is last year I hand pollinated the tree. I've got something like up to 30 fruits. This season I did not bother to hand pollinate, and I'm still getting fruits. I'm getting something like over, I reckon around 25. As you can see, the fruits are everywhere. Here, there, back there, on the side, on the right hand side. This was one of the early flower to flower, so the fruit is the largest of all the fruits I currently have here on the tree. I did grow a African pride tree here for flowering cross-pollination, but since it's self-pollinate, I don't need that. I might pull this out sometime in the future and free up space and see if I can grow something that's more productive, more worthwhile. With the starfruit, as I said, I'm still experimenting. I've got another variety here called the Thai Night. It's currently flowering, but my only concern is this one and the B17, which I've shown you in my backyard. Like, they may need flowering cross-pollination, but we'll see what happens. You can see here it's currently putting out flowers. Okay, this jackfruit tree is very promising. Last season it did put out its first female flower, but because the tree is still young, it dropped. Same with this season. I've got something like a female flower sometime in mid-December. So yeah, it's very promising, this tree here. Looking forward to the next season to see what happens. The other thing I've added is I've got this from Steve Trenery, if I pronounce it correctly. He's based in Cairns, far north Queensland. He specialises in selling exotic and rare tropical fruit trees. This particular variety is the Nanka mini jackfruit tree, which I've tried to approach graft it onto this jackfruit tree, seedling jackfruit tree here. The only challenge I can see is because this Nanka mini has a very small stem, and the jackfruit trees are normally larger branches, and so it may be a bit hard to approach graft, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, usually, ideally, if you want to approach graft, both the signwood needs to be of similar diameter sizes. You can see here I've tried another one here to approach graft. That's a spare seedling I got from the Daly's Durham Gold. And then that's a mini Nanka. Try to approach graft them. the YG jackfruit. You can see here the fruits are still green, and so these are classified as late season, whereas the Kwai Mai Pig, they're something like mid-season. So we get to harvest the Kwai Mai Pig around the month February, which is late summer, and when that's done, these are the late season. We might harvest this around March, and so the good thing is it's actually extended the harvest period. The amazing thing is it's still putting out flowers. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a baby fruitlet, and there's some more over here. That's here is the King Tai, Maha Chinook. I've got something like 30 fruits. It should be ready in about, I reckon, 2 or 3 more weeks for me to harvest. The tree was, because of the fruit size of that, like the branches was dangling down like laterally. I've got to tie them with straps, as you can see here, otherwise it's gonna go across the driveway and my neighbour's gonna start complaining. So that's the only extra work I have to do or undergo. This is a spare lychee tree which I've mulch-codded, so it's looking nice. So I'll keep that as a backup. Oh yeah, I've like you can see here, I've got enough lychees. I don't need anymore. But I've noticed lately that if you go to the fruit shop grocery, like the Erdingly, there's something anywhere between $50 to $80 per kilo. So I thought I might as well add one to my collections. I found this tree here. Happy it had something like 3 fruits. I've actually cut the other 2 off, and so it can focus its energy onto growth. All this sunburnt mark on the leaves is because we had that 3 days of over 40 degrees temperature. So that's okay. I'm pretty sure if I take care of the good tree, it's going to put out new flushes of growth, and it'd be healthy once more. Patumba, this is the coconut cream tree I got from Ross Creek Tropical 2 years ago. 2 years after, which is now, it's putting out 4 fruits, or it's actually holding on to 4 fruits. My only concern is, like in the United States, I've seen some YouTube video clips whereby the fruit looks, it's elongated, but the skin is like very, very rough, like it has bumps and lumps. But I mean, if you look at these one, the skin here is pretty smooth as a baby's bottom, so I'm not sure what's go here, but if it ripens, I'm going to give it a test try and see what happens. Mandarin, actually butcher the tree down to the, so the window can have a clear view. It was pretty high a while back, something like, I reckon, 3 meters. That one. This one here is a spare mango tree which I'm going to keep. I've started off with the grafted Galang mango, but I don't think I like the taste, guys. Sorry for sorry, not Glen. This is the late season Brook. I don't like it because I think the flavour is too strong. My original plan was to get a late season to extend the harvest, which last season I've harvested the fruit sometime in winter. But the only problem is in winter, it's cold, and so the growth stored, so it's not at its best flavour. I mean, if you're in the tropics like Cairns or subtropics, where you have more warmer days, the flavour may be nicer, but I don't think that's the go here. And so all I've done was, there's the main trunk. It branches out into 3 branches. I might keep this for the time being as a brook. I've actually approach grafted the Origin Sherbet onto this tree here. So it's putting out, this is the first flush this season, and it's putting out the second flush. Very nice and healthy, and so we'll see what happens. That's the Chokanan. That's the Nam Roy dwarf tree, only transplanted into the ground this season, and so no fruits. Last season I've got something like 3 large fruits. This is the kit mango. I had 3 large size. You can see here, like my hand. Like I mean, the fruit is late season, so I think we harvest this around 2 more months. It's already around, the size is that large, larger than my hand size. And so because of its sheer weight, I've actually lost 2 guys. You can see here, one of the stems snapped off here, one of the fruits. Another one snapped off there. And so what I've learned was to prevent that from more of a sheer weight dropping. I've actually I've got a string tie here. I joined 2 of the stems together as support to the fruit. And you may notice on day when it's you get ferocious wind gusts of up to 70, 100 kilometers per hour, the fruit tends to bounce back and forth. So to overcome that issue, I've got another string tie here. I'll just put it around the fruit just to minimize the fruit from bouncing back and forth for that. So hopefully using this technique next year, I may be able to save more fruits on this young tree. Apple tree. This is a column apple tree that grows tall upright. The variety is the Cumulus. Oh yeah, here's the what's called the Jujube. As I mentioned before, I've got something like 6 or 7 here last season. I've decided to rip them all out. They're paying the backside. They're overrated. Like you get like weeds and suckers, and the worst thing is the sucker has thorns. So yeah, I've decided to pull them all out. I'm just going to keep one of the tree here, which is the chica variety, which my family and myself like. So now, I mean, it's still a bit of a pain throwing the net over the tree to overcome the fruit fly issue. But you know, guys, like I'm kind of like optimistic, positive. Like I mean, I only got to deal with 1 tree rather than 7 trees, so that's fine by me. You can see here the thorns and all that. Longans. Very happy with this variety. I got the tree I think last year, and it's given me something like 4 or 5 fruits. The fruit size were large compared to the other varieties which I had, the BQ and the Chompool. So this season it's loaded with fruits, like for for its size. And so yeah, I mean, if I can just get 1 longan tree that's fruited productively, I'm happy with that. To free up space, I'm going to have to get rid of the other 2 trees, which is the Chompool and the BQ. This one is the Valencia Pride. Last year I had 1 fruit, it's big. So this year it's pretty much the same. It's something like a mid to late season variety, so the fruit's going to be much bigger. So you can see now the size of the fruit, it's bigger than my hand. So yeah, and so after I did the taste test review last season, it's kind of like has something like a pineapple flavour aftertaste. So I'm happy with 1 fruit, given it's a young tree. I'd rather that the case, and so the other branches, it can focus more on growth. Peanut butter fruit tree. This is the Ichikiki Jiro persimmon, sorry. I mean, persimmon's how they pronounce it overseas. Here in Australia, they pronounce it persimmon. I mean, this tree's got nothing to prove to me. Last season, it's given me something like over 20 delicious fruit to consume or enjoy. The tree used to be over there, so I've actually dug it up this season and moved it over here where it gets more sunlight. Because of the transplant, that's probably why it's got no fruit this season, but that's fine. As I said, it's got nothing to prove to me. It's provided me over 20 delicious fruits last season. And so, yep, yeah, you're doing pretty well, mate. Just go ahead to do what you do. This is the soursop tree. Got this about 2 years ago. that first season, like during winter, it died back to here, near where the trunk is. So I thought these trees are gone, but apparently this season it's putting out new growth. The branches is beginning to come back. And so, yeah. This spot here used to be where the Ichikiki-jiro persimmon is. And I've actually put in a white sapote, that's a seedling. And because I don't know what kind of fruits I'm going to get, so I've got the Kempong Scion. I've actually grafted one onto this branch here and one onto that branch there. So that's the Kempong variety. That's a peach tree. Got to harvest a few fruit this season. That is the Taiso lychee tree. For the first time, I think the tree's over 10 years. It's actually put out like something like a dozen fruit this season. So I'm just going to open the door and go to the front yard, and we're pretty much done with the walk through.